Hello, and welcome to the fifth video in my 30-day challenge to find my voice on camera. Now, I've been thinking a lot about this question of how do I find joy in this process of content creation? Especially because I feel like too many YouTubers are spending time asking the question of how do I win at YouTube, as opposed to how do I win at YouTube for the long run? And that's an important question for me because if I win at this game and I get like tens of thousands of subscribers, I don't want to be in a position where I still hate the process. I want to first make sure that the process I create is sustainable and that I look forward every day to contributing to this message of making joy an important success metric along with like status or wealth and fame or fortune. And this idea that the love for the process is sometimes assumed, I believe, by a lot of content creators and people out there because they have it themselves. They naturally love to create videos. And for some of us new to the platform, I feel like that's not valid. Some of us don't naturally come to this because of fear or whatever other reason. And I feel like it's important for me first to tackle that and get comfortable and learn to love this process of finding my voice and putting it out there and getting something out there. So, sharing my exploration of this process. And so, this idea here is that I feel like if the focus is initially on like views and number of subscribers and hours watched on the platform, I feel like it's very easy to get lost, and it's very easy to lose yourself because if you start out focusing on the metrics, one day you'll wake up and you're a slave to the metrics, and I feel like it's very dangerous to put like your overall happiness on something you can't control, especially something like the YouTube algorithm. And so, my biggest fear is like waking up one day and then realizing that just because YouTube changed one of their policies, I'm going to lose half my subscribers, and therefore, like everything I've built will be for naught. And so, to combat that ahead of time, I'm putting myself first and I'm learning to find the parts of the process I enjoy so that I'll continue creating content, no matter whether it's for YouTube or Instagram, TikTok, or whatever some 24-year-old creates in 2024. And so this order, I feel, for success starts with myself. And so I believe that it's important for you to serve yourself first. This reminds me of like when I travel on an airplane, and the flight attendants always remind you to put your mask on first for oxygen before assisting other passengers. And I feel like, I've come to this point where I realize that like being on camera is an opportunity for me to perform. It's an opportunity to create, and it's an opportunity, to play with more technology as I get familiar with like how everything fits together. And I also feel like it's important to find something in this process that you love. Like, I love when I finish and I hit the upload button and everything goes through. I guess I feel like I accomplished something that day. But I also find that it's nice right now, just in this early process, to feel like every day I feel more like I'm speaking to a friend behind a camera and not just to like a piece of silicon. And I'm also finding that it's important to understand like where help is needed and being able to find that. So, for example, I have my friend Lila who's helping me to organize all my thoughts so I don't feel so scattered. The next thing after like serving yourself is really to understand like how you want to affect the world, and how you want to serve your audience and what audience do you want to serve, because the last thing I would want personally is just to have a mass of, let's say, 1 million followers, but have no consistency in what I'm actually delivering. And so, because I don't know how I want to affect people, I feel like then anyone in the audience, like the complainers, the haters, the trolls, can easily get to me. And I feel like the way I make myself like impervious or bulletproof is by finding the message that I want to spread. And in my case, it's the idea that joy and happiness should be central to success. It's not about like saving money or investing or finding multiple streams of income. It's that, finding what makes you happy and then being able to do more of that, and especially to find like joy in your work and your own like process of creation. What are you doing to help others that also brings you joy? And by doing so, I think at that point it's easy to bring the metrics in, because when you bring the metrics in at this stage, it's easy to tell when the audience you're trying to reach is engaged. And what's really cool about a platform like YouTube is you get comments. So you can tell if people are loving what you're talking about, and whether or not you are keeping your message and I guess your brand intact. And the thing is that uh, when you get to this point, then it's not about trying to come up with a clever idea for this week's video. It's about just like continuing to expand your message, to find new situations where your message fits in, and then being able to just create stuff to go along with it, because you have your central like set of values that you're trying to affect the world with. And it's no longer about like just something that you can't control, like number of subscribers. How many people is YouTube going to show your video to? Or how many people are they going to rank you for a search? You know what you want to be ranked for, and you can go for it. And so I feel like by putting everything together, by like serving yourself first, understanding where your voice is, and knowing where your audience is, you can work every day towards attracting a bigger audience, and things can snowball. So that's about all I have for today. I still continue to believe that like your initial goals are within, and that it's important to find your heart in the process. And yes, this is entirely subjective, and it's not as clean as being able to say that I had 15% growth over last month in the total number of subscribers. But sometimes you can't always put an exact number on things. But when you find something that you really love, and you know that when you found something that brings you a lot of joy, and when you've had those moments of like profound joy and fulfillment. And my hope is that you can find more of that in the things that you do on a daily basis, just like I'm hoping to do here with YouTube.